Well, welcome to the Business Spotlight series. My name is Tanner O'Brien. I'm a senior partner here at Action Coach in Central Texas. And today I am honored to be sitting down with both Luis and Hans of Wunderkeks. And we are going to be chatting about their story and how they got into business and a little bit more about the business itself and the whole wonderful journey of entrepreneurship. So, Luis, Hans, thank you so much for sitting down with me today. Why don't you I'm going to hand it over to y'all. Tell us a little bit about the business. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you got started.
No, thank you for having us. We really appreciate this. So we started back in Guatemala. That's where we are from originally. We moved here to Austin, Texas, 4 years ago, January 2019. That's when we decided to move. The main reason why we decided to move is because we wanted to get married and we couldn't get married in Guatemala. And for us, it was very important to be recognized as a family. That's something that we really value. So that was the main reason why we moved. We sold everything that we had, even the business, because we had business, the Wunderkeks, we had it back in Guatemala for a couple of years, but we sold everything. We grabbed our 4 dogs, a couple of bags, and we moved to Austin. We started doing the farmers markets for the first year, and we were doing really well. Actually, it was very, very decent. And then that's when everything started going crazy. Back in 2020, we had the huge opportunity to do a pop-up store for South by Southwest right in front of the convention center. So we had 25,000 cookies ready to get baked, and boom, Friday before it got canceled, and we had the 25,000 cookies.
Oh, no.
It was challenging, but we kept it really cool. And we were like, okay, let's figure out what we're gonna do about it. And we started promoting the cookies on social media. And in Twitter specifically, we were telling about how we put everything that we had into this project of the 25,000 cookies, and how if it didn't work out, we had to get back on the plane and go back to Guatemala. So somehow on that Sunday, Busy Phillips, the actress, she saw our tweet, she retweeted, and in 2 hours we got 700 orders. And that week, the Wall Street Journal, Vanity Fair, Fox News, everybody talking about our story, and we ended up selling 35,000 cookies in 3 weeks.
That is absolutely crazy. So I've got to ask, like, how is that process? Being on the business side of things and kind of like thinking that through, like that is a massive level of volume all of a sudden at once. How'd y'all just like manage that process and kind of overcome what I'm guessing is the challenge of just having that much volume in a short period of time?
Yeah, we had to figure it out very quickly because we didn't know even how to ship. We were not even planning to be going to e-commerce. So we had to figure out how to ship, how to pack the stuff, how to use the software for the orders, how to make a system to actually efficiently pack the orders.
Not even the website, remember?
Not even the website, yeah. It was really, we didn't even know that Shopify existed back then. So we just had to learn to fly. It's something that I think we're very resourceful. We're like the type of people who figures it out. So that's what we did. And thankfully, not thankfully, I guess, but because of the pandemic, and for South by a ton of people who had catering jobs lined up for that week, were all of a sudden without anything to do. So there was help available, thankfully. So we're able to hire them and like make up a little bit of their income too. So that really helped us out.
Even friends helped.
Yeah, like everyone. Like I think even a friend's mom ended up helping.
And as you can imagine, because in the beginning it was only the 2 of us, and then all of a sudden we have like 35 people helping out, doing shifts from 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day for 3 weeks, and they were doing shifts. And of course, we did everything the best way that we could, but everything was very unorganized because everything happened from one day to another. So of course, if it happens to us right now, it would be like, oh, 35,000 cookies, we're going to do it in 3 days. But it was like, we were learning and oh my God, it was a great experience. Also, I think that personally for both of us, also to understand that sometimes you need to put a line and say, okay, from here to here, you take care of the business. From here to here, I'll take care of the business. Let's trust each other. Let's just do the best we can, both in our end, and let's make it work. Because basically what happened was like, I took over the production and the human resources that we were having, and then Hans took care of doing all the research to put the website together, to get an account with UPS, to figure out what's the best way to ship them. It was like a whole operation that we had, but technically we didn't see each other for 3 weeks.
Oh my God, yeah, it was a lot.
Oh man, that is it's so awesome to see y'all kind of come together and be able to do that, and manage it, and kind of be forced to create some systems to allow this to continue to grow and be a place where you continue to do that in the future. I've got to ask some questions, if it's all right, around just having a business partnership that's also a family spouse type relationship. Here in our business, I'm in business, two of my business partners are my parents, and we got a fourth business partner in there, and very familiar with kind of being around family and all that kind of stuff. And I'm curious for y'all, how you continue to make business partnership work together. Are there is there communication tips that you have, and what worked well, what hasn't worked well? Delineation of different types of roles and responsibilities. What have you all found to be the most effective for the two of you?
Yeah, well, first of all, we got a therapist. That was really useful. We go to therapy not as there's this problem to be solved, but more as an opportunity. There's this safe space every other Tuesday where we can talk about whatever is in our minds. So usually what happens is that you're super mad about something and you make a note, I'm going to talk about this on Tuesday because it's not the right time for this. And by Tuesday, most likely you have like, oh, it was not a big deal. So that's been a great opportunity. And the other thing has been like learning to trust each other, because if you remember, we upended our whole lives to do this. So it was basically like building everything from scratch, even your base, even like, think of this, even the brand of bread that you buy changed from one day to the other. Every single thing about your life is new. So that was an opportunity to build, I guess, a relationship in a way that we wanted, which didn't make it any easier, but it's what worked for us. And now we're at the point where we've learned to trust each other and to say like, you can have an opinion. Sure, we have opinions about what the other one is doing, but we've learned to say, this is what I think, but I am not the one doing it. So I feel free to do whatever you see convenient, and let the other party just run with it, whatever they're doing, because otherwise it's so overwhelming and you could find so many reasons to fight, and it's super tiring. And the other thing that we learned to do, which was, I think, really pivotal, and it took a while, is we don't work on Saturdays. We do work on Sundays every so often, but we don't work on Saturdays at all. And that's been really helpful. Like just having like that little space where there's no work, because otherwise your whole life is work.
Yeah, we force ourselves to do like a one date night per week, where we don't talk about business. The other thing that I would say that really helps is not even only trusting each other, but not taking it personal. Because sometimes your ego is like, oh yeah, we're doing this because you say so. Well, I don't want to do it this way. I want to do it this way. So always thinking about what's best for the business when you're making decisions for the business, and then what's best for your personal life when you're making decisions for your personal life. So don't mix them. I think that's a key. And it's hard. It sounds really easy. Oh yeah, let's just draw a line here, and from here to here is yours, and from here to here is mine.
Years of work.
Yeah, it took us like 2 years to get to that point, but thankfully we did. But a lot of communication, a lot of trust, a lot of understanding that at the end of the day we were in this one together, and have it very clear that you're in it to win it, and you have the same goal. So it's like, okay, sometimes you have to give up, sometimes you have to do more, and that's fine.
has amazing advice and kind of some good tidbits I think will really resonate with a lot of others out there. So I want to take a step back, and you had mentioned basically had the business in Guatemala before making the transition here. So how did y'all make the decision to go into business in the first place? Was that the direction you always wanted to take? Was that how did that process unfold and getting into entrepreneurship and business ownership as your path in life?
I think we both had like the chip
Yeah.
for that, I guess. And we both had started things like separately. And I started Wunderkeks in my mom's kitchen. And a couple of years later, I met Luis and he joined. But it really was a traditional bakery, very nice, like cakes and birthday cakes and wedding cakes, that type of thing. But it really took a life of its own when we decided to move to the US. And the reason, well, obviously, our own inclinations to be entrepreneurs made this really easy, but it was a very deliberate choice that we wanted to move to the US mostly because we wanted to get married and we couldn't do that in Guatemala. So the fact that we both felt comfortable with our own entrepreneurial ability and each other's, because can you imagine if it was like something that, yeah, I have this cushy job and I feel comfortable here, it would have been very hard to pack our bags and move, but we will both feel like comfortable with the uncertainty and the risk and the adventure, if you will. So it really allowed us to make an easy decision, because that's what we're like, we pivot constantly. And it was really important for us to say, we want to be a family, we want to be treated and understood as a family. So once we had that, it was just a matter of deciding, okay, should we go to California? Should we go to Texas? Should we go where?
Yeah.
That's beautiful. So I always like to ask kind of the question around, call it the keys to success. I think if you go out there and you Google search keys to success or things like that, you'll get morning routines. You'll get I do these things consistently, or here's like the 5 rules I live by, or whatever it is, right? So I always like to ask the question on, if you to kind of take a 1,000-foot view of your daily life and being successful. What are y'all's current kind of keys to success? What are the things that y'all do and attribute your success to?
I would say that for me, it would be have your goals really clear, like keep the eye on the goal, and no matter how or just get there. That's one of the things. The other thing is that you need to understand that fear is going to be there the whole time, because you're going to be doubting yourself. You're going to be walking into the unknown all the time. But also at the same time, you need to know that what fear is just a lack of information that you have. Once you get the information, you lose that fear because you understand what you're facing. And the challenge just becomes very easy after that. Like once you recognize that you don't have enough, that all it is that you don't have enough information, just figure it out, and it's going to be way easier. That would be like for me my keys to success.
Yeah, the other thing that we've learned is that a lot of growing and success is relationship building. And I think the mistake a lot of people make is that they treat relationships as transactional. And what we've learned to do, for many reasons, and we're very appreciative that we figured it out, is to treat relationships, even if there's nothing to gain, it's not super clear, like what is in it for me to help this person, to listen to this person, and to know this person. It's a way, they always build, like you build, if you will, your social capital.
Yeah.
But the minute you start just taking the meetings that are going to lead to sales, for instance, then you're stuck. So that's really helped. And we never know, like we have had so many opportunities from people who we were just nice to at the farmer's market once, and then they showed up with this amazing opportunity for us.
Yeah. I would like to add, because I forgot, like, yeah, that is true. It's like always take the meeting. And the second one, it's you already have to know as an answer. That's my philosophy.
Oh yeah,
so
that's totally him.
Just ask, because you already have to know. So you're not gonna lose anything. And whatever it is, just ask for help, ask for advice, ask for support, whatever you need, just ask. You already have the no. The no, it's already there. So just turn it into a yes or into a maybe.
And you'd be surprised how many people who you would think are very high up above you are very happy to help and take your call and give you some advice.
Hey, there's a lot of power in just ask for that, connect with people.
Yes.
Relationships are massive. When you, I love that you make the comment there on, it's not transactional. It really is the relationship building piece of it. And there's a lot to be said with that there. So what did, if you look back on kind of advice that you've received along your journey, what would you say is the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Walk before you start running. Even if it's hard to say no to opportunities that you're not ready, because as an entrepreneur, you're always going to be wanting to say yes, no matter what. That's the nature of an entrepreneur. It's like you start saying yes, even if you're not going to sleep for days, but you say yes, you never say no. But you need to recognize your limits, and you need to always be on a point. And I wish that this is something that totally, that you need to start planning instead of reacting. So when you have an opportunity in front of you, that it means that you're going to start just reacting, don't take it. If you don't have time to plan it, there's a reason why. Just don't take it. Plan, don't react.
Very powerful. So I'm making sure that we're kind of staying within time here, and I want to be respectful of the time that we have together. Before we kind of start to wrap this up here, is there what like one or two things would you want everybody to know about Wunderkeks? If you like boil it down to, I wish everybody knew this about our business, what would that be?
I guess I wish that everyone knew what we're trying to build goes well beyond just cookies or sweets. And what we're talking about as a business is about the rituals that you build when you share food, particularly sweets. And the way we see it, those are opportunities for conversation, for sharing intimate moments, because you're always saying I love you with a birthday cake or with a cookie, or like
you should read the card actually.
Oh yeah,
this is what we truly want everybody to know.
This is our mission statement, and we're very excited about how it turned out. Like, let me read that to you. It goes in every single box of Wunderkeks. He says, we build Wunderkeks from our belief that the foods we share help tell the story of who we are, and that by openly, fearlessly telling our stories, we create the safe spaces others may need to tell theirs. Think of a birthday cake, of going for ice cream on a Sunday afternoon, of baking cookies with grandma. The rituals we've built around sweets are all about unconditional love and acceptance. They all bring us back to when we were very little, when the world was all color and light and no one had ever made us feel that there was something wrong with us. A few years ago, we left our home country of Guatemala for Austin, Texas, looking for our very own safe space. We found it, and our outlook in life was forever changed. Ever since, we have made it our mission to share the joy we found. Our hope is that you will share this box of cookies along with your willingness to listen, that this loud pink box will become, for you and yours, a symbol of allyship and a marker of a safe space. We hope you will join us in building a joyful, creative world. That is what Wunderkeks is all about, beyond the cookies.
Correct.
I absolutely love that. That is phenomenal.
Thank you.
I appreciate you taking the time to actually kind of read that and share that with us. And I hope that really kind of sinks in with the audience, and they really feel that, because I know I did sitting here. So thank you.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
So before I always like to kind of wrap up on one final question. Before I ask that question, where can we go to find out more information? Where can we go to order some cookies and taste this amazing deliciousness? And how can they connect with you and learn more about the story? Give us kind of the details on where to find out more information.
Yeah, so all of our social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook is Wunderkeks, and that's WUNDERKEKS. And you can get our cookies at www.wunderkeks.com. if you use the code
Action.
action01, you'll get a 15% discount.
Beautiful. And I will make sure to put all of that in the description of this video here below. So it'll be just a click away to go check it out. Highly encourage it. Please, everyone who's watching, go check it out. Connect with each of these wonderful gentlemen here and take a look at all the information. So Luis, Hans, I have one final question for you. You can choose who wants to answer it first, but what is most inspiring to you today?
For me, what keeps me going and what keeps me waking up with excitement is that we manage to build a company that goes beyond the products. And we're actually saving lives with our cookies with just the simple message of creating safe spaces and start those hard conversations and making that impact in the world. That's what makes me very excited about it, because I wish I had that in my life. It was growing in Guatemala as a gay man. It was tough. I came out of the closet when I was 30 years old. And I always say, I always picture myself in the scariest place on earth. And for me, it's always been the first day of school. I was 4 years old and I didn't know why or how I was different, but I knew I was different. And just by the fact that if I would have seen a little kid pulling a Wunderkeks cookie outside of the lunchbox, and just by that, knowing that I was going to be in a safe space around him or his family, for me, that would have been a game changer. So that's what keeps me going and excited.
Beautiful.
For me, where we are right now in our journey as entrepreneurs is very exciting. And what really gets me going is that it feels like the world is opening up. Like the things that the opportunities that are presenting themselves are things that, frankly, like coming from Guatemala, we didn't really even thought possible. And we're having conversations about things that they're no longer a pipe dream. They are like real possibilities that we have to work for, of course, but they are there for the taking. And it's very exciting that the world gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, as opposed to just, oh, we're doing cookies, which got very boring very fast, frankly. So now it's like so exciting, everything that is possible.
I love that. Gentlemen, I appreciate you taking the time, sharing your story, sharing everything that you've shared with us today. It's been a genuine pleasure to be sitting here with you today. So thank you so much for taking the time and being with me today.
No, thank you for having us.